Welcome to our overview of why Alpha Fitness puts clinically effective dosages at the heart of every formula. Today I'm going to unpack why supplement labels are often confusing, why proprietary blends can mislead you, and what it means when we say a product uses clinical doses. As consumers, we deserve more than flashy marketing and mysterious proprietary ingredients. We should know exactly what we're putting into our bodies and why. In the next few slides, I'll define what proprietary blends are, explain how common underdosing undermines performance, and share our philosophy of complete transparency. By the end of this talk, you'll be able to read supplement labels with confidence and understand why clear dosing matters for results. Now, let's start by looking at the problem on most labels today. Supplement marketing often emphasizes long ingredient lists, trademark names, and eye-catching graphics rather than meaningful dosing information. Many products hide their formulas behind proprietary blends that list a handful of ingredients without telling you how much of each you are ingesting. This makes it impossible to calculate your total intake or compare one product against another. Underdose formulas still command premium prices because most buyers assume more ingredients equals more value. Meanwhile, researchers and athletes can't properly evaluate the safety or effectiveness of these products. This confusion has become the norm in sports nutrition, leaving consumers unaware of what they're really consuming. To understand why this happens, we need to define exactly what a proprietary blend is. A proprietary blend is a group of ingredients lumped together and listed on the supplement facts panel as a single line. Regulations require companies to disclose every ingredient in the blend and the total combined weight, but they don't have to reveal how much of each component is included. Ingredients are listed from most to least by weight, but without numbers you can only guess how much you're getting. Research shows that more than one-fifth of supplements use proprietary blends, making it difficult to know if the doses align with what human studies deem effective. This lack of transparency forces consumers to take manufacturers at their word. In the next slide, we'll look at why companies adopt this practice in the first place. There are several reasons manufacturers choose proprietary blends over fully transparent formulas. Because dietary supplement formulas cannot be patented, companies use secret blends as a form of trade secret protection to slow down competitors. They also use blends to control costs by sprinkling tiny amounts of expensive ingredients while padding the formula with cheaper fillers. Marketing plays a role. Long ingredient lists and trademark blend names create the illusion of exclusivity and justify higher price tags. Finally, a blend allows manufacturers to quietly change ingredient ratios over time without altering the supplement facts layout. While these reasons may make sense from a business standpoint, they don't serve the consumer. Next, let's explore the problems that arise when doses remain unknown. When you don't know how much of each ingredient you're taking, you can't gauge your overall exposure or safely combine products. Researchers and coaches have to guess or perform expensive analyses to estimate ingredient levels, making replication of results difficult. Sometimes manufacturers include trace amounts of premium ingredients to justify marketing claims, while the majority of the scoop is filled with inexpensive or ineffective fillers. Hidden stimulant content also poses safety risks, especially for people who use multiple pre-workouts or energy drinks. The lack of information prevents consumers from making informed decisions and undermines trust in the supplement industry. To overcome this, we need to look at what constitutes a clinically dosed ingredient. A clinically dosed ingredient is provided at the same amount that produced measurable benefits in human trials. It's not merely added for label appeal, it reflects the minimum effective dose established in research. Effective dosing sits within a therapeutic window, high enough to trigger the desired physiological response, but well below the maximum tolerated dose that could cause adverse effects. Simply listing an ingredient on a label does not guarantee it is present in a meaningful amount. When you see clinically dosed, you should expect that the formula matches what was used in peer-reviewed studies. In the next slide, we'll compare typical proprietary doses with clinical levels for some popular ingredients. This chart compares clinically effective doses with those typically found in proprietary blends. For L-citrulline, clinical studies employ around 6 grams per serving to boost nitric oxide and blood flow. Many products offer barely 2 grams. Beta-alanine is effective at 4 to 6 grams per day to raise carnosine levels, yet typical formulas supply only about 1.5 grams, far too little to produce sustained tingling or endurance benefits. Creatine monohydrate supports strength and power at 3 to 5 grams per day, while proprietary blends often hide about a gram. For cognitive support, L-tyrosine works best around a full gram, but proprietary blends may contain a token 200 milligrams. These discrepancies illustrate how underdosing can reduce effectiveness. Next, we'll discuss why dose matters so much for performance outcomes. Biological systems respond to nutrients along a dose-response curve. Too little of an ingredient yields no measurable benefit. Too much increases the risk of side effects. Effective doses saturate metabolic pathways, whether it's raising nitric oxide production with citrulline, increasing muscle carnosine with beta-alanine, replenishing creatine stores, or supporting neurotransmitter synthesis with tyrosine. If a pre-workout only includes a sprinkle of these ingredients, it can't reach the threshold needed to trigger adaptations, regardless of how many different compounds are listed. Synergy, where ingredients complement each other, can enhance results but cannot substitute for an insufficient base dose. To emphasize this point, the next slide addresses the myth that synergy fixes underdosing. Synergy occurs when ingredients work together to magnify each other's effects, such as caffeine enhancing the focus benefits of L-tyrosine or citrulline, combining with nitrates to boost nitric oxide. However, these interactions require each component to be present at its effective dose. A tiny amount of beta-alanine cannot be rescued by adding taurine or other amino acids. Underdosed ingredients remain ineffective no matter what else is in the scoop. True synergy augments clinically dosed ingredients, but it doesn't replace them. Understanding this helps you spot marketing claims that rely on buzzwords rather than science. In the next slide, we'll lay out a few common ingredients and their evidence-based dosing ranges. Here are several ingredients you'll often see in pre-workouts, alongside their clinically effective ranges and the amounts typically found in proprietary blends. L-citrulline should be dosed around 6 grams per serving or 3 to 8 grams per day to meaningfully elevate nitric oxide. Proprietary formulas often include about 2 grams. Beta-alanine works best between 4 and 6 grams per day. Many products supply only about 1.6 grams. Creatine monohydrate delivers strength and power benefits at 3 to 5 grams per day, yet typical pre-workouts hide roughly a gram. For cognitive support, L-tyrosine's effective range is 500 to 1,500 milligrams per day, while you'll sometimes see 200 milligrams in blends. Comparing labels to these ranges helps you determine whether a product can reproduce the results seen in human trials. If clinical dosing works so well, why don't all companies use it? The simple answer is cost and convenience. Higher dosages of quality ingredients are more expensive, so underdosing preserves profit margins. Large amounts of certain amino acids can taste bitter or cause sensations like beta-alanine's tingling, requiring more intensive flavor masking. Bigger doses also mean larger scoops, which drive up packaging and shipping costs, and may deter casual users who prefer smaller servings. Finally, many consumers don't scrutinize labels closely and assume all formulas are equal, allowing companies to cut corners unnoticed. As a result, the onus is on us to choose products that prioritize clinical dosing over marketing. At Alpha Fitness, we believe that transparency and science should guide supplementation, not hype. Every label we produce lists each ingredient and its exact dose so you know precisely what you're taking. Our formulas are evidence-based, meaning we select ingredients and dosages supported by human research to improve strength, endurance, and cognitive performance. Performance comes first. We design our products to deliver measurable results rather than just tick boxes on an ingredient list. And we never use proprietary blends because we think consumers deserve to know exactly what they're putting in their bodies. In the next slide, we'll explain why refusing proprietary blends is so important to us. Full disclosure of ingredient amounts builds trust and empowers our community to make informed choices. When doses are known, researchers can reproduce studies and coaches can tailor stacks to individual needs. Quality control is also more straightforward when every component is traceable, ensuring consistency from batch to batch. Finally, transparent formulas allow athletes to customize their supplement stack responsibly, adding or subtracting ingredients with confidence. We avoid proprietary blends because secrecy benefits only the manufacturer, not the end user. Next, we'll share tips on how to read and evaluate supplement labels so you can apply this philosophy yourself. When analyzing a supplement label, start by looking for a clear supplement facts panel that lists each ingredient with its dose. Beware of vague terms like proprietary blend, matrix, or complex, which often hide underdosing. Compare the listed amounts with clinical research. Many ingredients have established effective ranges that you can verify. Seek products that carry third-party certifications from organizations such as NSF or USP to ensure quality and purity. Finally, be skeptical of grandiose marketing claims. No supplement can replace hard training and sound nutrition. By using these guidelines, you can select formulas that truly support your goals. Not every proprietary blend is inherently harmful. Small companies sometimes use blends to protect a unique formula from being copied before they have the resources to defend it. However, without disclosed doses, there is no way to confirm whether a blend is both safe and effective. Transparency encourages accountability and allows consumers to compare products based on evidence rather than marketing. Whenever possible, choose supplements that declare each ingredient's amount. That way, you can be confident you're getting clinically relevant doses rather than just a promising sounding cocktail. Up next, we'll consider who stands to benefit most from clinically dosed, fully transparent formulas. Clinically dosed, transparent pre workouts are especially valuable for people who need reliable performance improvements. Competitive athletes and high volume lifters rely on consistency for strength and endurance gains. They can't afford to guess about their nutrient intake. Individuals who track their progress closely benefit from knowing exact doses so they can replicate results and adjust protocols. Those concerned with safety want to avoid unknown stimulant levels or hidden fillers. Ultimately, anyone who prioritizes efficacy and accountability over marketing hype will appreciate the confidence that comes from using products with disclosed, research backed dosages. If there's one thing to remember, it's that ingredients matter, but doses matter more. Proprietary blends conceal the amounts of each component, making it easy to underdose and hard to compare products. Clinically dosed supplements replicate the amounts used in human research, leading to predictable results. Synergistic interactions can enhance effects but will never substitute for adequate base dosing. To maximize your investment, choose products that prioritize transparency and evidence over marketing gimmicks. These principles underpin our own formulations at Alpha Fitness, and they can guide your supplement choices as well.